I actually met them. They weren't actually capacity in the playhouse. I knew Gene in New York. We looked for jobs together in the spotlight on screen, and for decades, revered two Hollywood greats, Robert Duvall and Gene Hackman, shared it all, or so we believed. However, Duvall has now spoken out, and his words aren't pleasant. The truth is finally out after all these years of whispers and secret drama. Where did these two legendary movie stars go wrong? Why is Duvall coming out now? This Hollywood discovery is going to rock our worldview, so brace yourself. Gene Hackman rose to prominence as a revered Hollywood actor throughout the course of his four-decade career. He was born in San Bernardino, California. His rise from relative obscurity to legendary status in Hollywood is a tribute to his perseverance and adaptability. Problems plagued Hackman's youth. He was raised in Danville, Illinois, by his grandmother following his parents' divorce. When he was 16 years old, he departed from his own country to go to the United States Reserves, operating radio equipment. His acting career was determined by the tenacity he gained from this experience. Hackman tried his hand at journalism after serving his country, but acting quickly became his true calling. Despite being marked as least likely to succeed, he persisted with his studies at the Pasadena Playhouse in California. He went to live with Robert Duvall and Dustin Hoffman, two other struggling actors, after moving to New York City. Their shared goals and unwavering will drove them to victory. The part of Buck Barrow in Bonnie and Clyde was Hackman's big break, and he was nominated for Best Supporting Actor at the Academy Awards. The French Connection, in which he won the Oscar for Best Actor, included his legendary performance as Detective Jimmy Popeye Doyle, and this recognition set the stage for that role in criminal dramas. His portrayal of the rough-and-tumble officer set the standard. Hackman showed his adaptability all through the 70s and 80s. He was nominated for 2 Academy Awards, one for Best Supporting Actor for his portrayal of a paranoid surveillance specialist in The Conversation, a disappointed coach in Hoosiers, and a merciless sheriff in Unforgiven. He became one of Hollywood's most in-demand performers due to his versatility. Even in the 1990s, Hackman kept turning in standout performances. Along with Tom Cruise, he played the multifaceted role of Avery Toller in The Firm. Playing Denzel Washington's jaded submarine commander in Crimson Tide, he nailed the high-pressure atmosphere of command in the Navy. Playing a conservative senator caught up in a ridiculous circumstance in The Birdcage allowed him to display his comic timing. Hackman's painstaking approach to each part demonstrated his commitment to acting. He gave his all to every role, making them come alive. Because of this dedication, he gained the admiration of his contemporaries as well as critical praise. Hackman was modest and avoided the spotlight even though he was quite successful. He made the observation that acting was only a profession, not who he was. Because of this outlook, he was able to gracefully overcome the challenges that came with popularity. Hackman declared his retirement from acting in 2004, capping off an impressive career. He went on to write and co-author other novels, channeling his creative impulses into that medium. After giving his all to the art form he loved, he felt complete when he left Hollywood. Both Hackman's professional and personal lives were full of riches. He wed Faye Maltese in 1956. They were married for 30 years before filing for a divorce in 1986. He wed Betsy Arakawa, a classical musician, in 1991. Thinking back on Hackman's career, it's clear that he was successful not just because of his talent, but also because he was genuine and persistent. His performances were enriched by his genuine honesty, which made the characters more sympathetic and authentic. One of the hallmarks of excellent acting is the capacity to strike an emotional chord with viewers. Hackman was undeniably one of the best. True craftsmanship transcends fads. Hackman's long career is a monument to that in an industry where stardom comes and goes. He overcame adversity and became a Hollywood icon by sheer determination, perseverance, and an unquenchable love for performing. Gene Hackman and Robert Duvall met long before they were Hollywood celebrities. Here is their story. The friendship between legendary American actors Gene Hackman and Robert Duvall dates back to their days as budding performers. Their relationship has been a driving force in both their personal and professional lives for decades, thanks to the mutual regard and common experiences that have formed its foundation. Hackman and Duvall, along with Dustin Hoffman, were struggling New York City performers in the late 1950s. Despite the constant auditions and financial struggles, this was a time of friendship and development. They became close as roommates, helping each other weather the storms of their budding careers and building a friendship that would last them all the way to fame. It was in Francis Ford Coppola's 1974 picture The Conversation when their careers intersected. Duvall played the pivotal part of the director in this neo-noir thriller, while Hackman played the role of Harry Call, a surveillance specialist caught in a moral dilemma. The critical praise for the picture was in part due to their work together, which demonstrated their ability to provide subtlety and complexity to complicated characters. Walter Hill's 1993 picture Geronimo, an American legend, included yet another noteworthy collaboration. Duvall played the role of the seasoned scout Al Sieber, while Hackman played Brigadier General George Crook. The film, which took place during the Apache Wars, highlighted their acting chops by convincingly bringing to life historical characters. Hackman and Duvall have always had a close connection, marked by respect and regard for one another even outside of their work together on film. The two performers have earned a reputation for unwavering commitment to their work, frequently foregoing the flash and glamour of Hollywood stardom in favor of genuine performances. By sticking together in their common values, they have been able to overcome the obstacles they have faced in the film industry without compromising their principles. Duvall spoke highly of Hackman's acting chops, saying that the actor gave substance to parts that would have been flat in weaker hands. By convincingly portraying complicated and ethically unclear individuals, he demonstrated the qualities of only the most accomplished performers, those who can command an audience with such subtle intensity. Time seemed to be slipping away from Duvall as well. In his remarks, both performers had witnessed the success of their careers and the establishment of their legacies since they were young men brimming with ambition. Duvall now admitted that a period was ending with Hackman's death. He stressed the need to remember Hackman as an individual who forged his own path in life, rather than merely as an accomplished actor. Robert Duvall's moving tribute to Gene Hackman encapsulated the actor's character and the impact of his death on Hollywood. He was paying respect to more than simply an actor. He was paying homage to a peer, a friend, and an enduring icon. The connections made in the film industry, where honesty and genuine skill are forever remembered, were brought to light by Duvall's comments. Tributes to Gene Hackman have been flooding in, each one more moving than the last. As the world mourns his untimely death, the legacy of Gene Hackman, one of Hollywood's most beloved performers, has had a significant impact on cinema. His death ended an era after an accomplished career spanning decades. In their touching tributes, his fellow actors, directors, and industry professionals have remembered him as an exceptional person, a talented artist, and a devoted craftsman. Clint Eastwood, Francis Ford Coppola, Dustin Hoffman, Morgan Freeman, Viola Davis, Nathan Lane, Bill Murray, and many others have shared heartfelt words honoring his incredible legacy. Hackman's influence on the world of cinema will live on, inspiring generations to come. Marks for his young Frankenstein portrayal, he was a serious actor who was also incredibly funny. That's a rare combination. He made that scene in Young Frankenstein unforgettable, said Brooks. Peter Bradshaw, a film critic for The Guardian, wrote that the death of Gene Hackman marks the end of one of the greatest periods of U.S. cinema, the American New Wave. Bradshaw praised Hackman for his versatility as an actor, noting he was tough, wised up, and intelligent, exactly what American cinema needed at the time. Hackman was beloved by both directors and co-stars due to his charisma and the depth he brought to his roles. He is widely considered to have given some of cinema's greatest performances in films, including The French Connection, Mississippi Burning, Hoosiers, and The Firm. His humility and commitment to the profession were just as revered as his energy on set. The more accolades come in, the clearer it becomes that Hackman was an artist in his own right, not only an actor. In addition to his remarkable talent, his colleagues held him in high esteem for his honesty and competence. The entertainment world is mourning Gene Hackman's passing, but his films will remain classics, and the characters he created will be remembered long after his passing. Two iconic figures in Hollywood, each with a great career, yet there's more to them than meets the eye. The divide between these symbols has been brought to light by Robert Duvall's speech. Were you taken aback by this discovery? Leave a comment with your ideas. If you found this in-depth look at Hollywood fascinating, please like, subscribe, and enable notifications so you don't miss any future bombshells. Muchas gracias for tuning in, and until our next video. They have both dedicated themselves to being versatile and performing at a high level throughout their careers, starring in critically acclaimed films such as Hoosiers, Unforgiven, and The French Connection. Hackman has earned praise for his versatile acting chops, which have allowed him to play everyone from grizzled cops to human, frail heroes. Critically acclaimed for his portrayal of complex human beings, Duvall has also done well in films like The Godfather, Apocalypse Now, and Tender Mercies. Both performers have maintained a grounded demeanor despite their respective successes, frequently crediting the encouragement and ideas they received from their early friendships for their accomplishments. In interviews, they have reflected on how their formative years impacted their acting and life approaches while also speaking warmly of those years. The end of an era came with Hackman's 2004 retirement from acting, but his legacy lives on as an inspiration to budding filmmakers and performers ever after. Hackman passed away, and Duvall has kept busy in the profession, reflecting on what his peers taught him. Their lasting relationship is a reflection of the connections made through common experiences in the dynamic world of Hollywood. Looking back on Gene Hackman and Robert Duvall's careers, it's clear that their relationship has been crucial to both of their success. The significance of perseverance, mutual support, and a steadfast commitment to performing is highlighted by their rise from struggling performers to legendary status in cinema. It was unexpected for Gene Hackman to go from this world in such a state after being so vibrant and indomitable on screen. At the age of 95, the famed actor Gene Hackman was discovered dead at his Santa Fe, New Mexico apartment on February 26, 2025. Hackman was famous for his diverse performances. The house also contained the bodies of his wife, Betsy Arakawa, and one of their 3 pets. The discovery was made during a wellness check that was started by a maintenance worker when the door was left unattended. The worker looked through a window and saw bodies, so he called the police. Santa Fe County Sheriff's deputies discovered the lifeless bodies of Hackman and Arakawa, who were both in various stages of decay in the foyer and a bathroom, respectively. Medications prescribed for diseases such as thyroid and high blood pressure were discovered in the vicinity of Arakawa. According to the results of the autopsy, Arakawa, 65, died of hantavirus pulmonary syndrome, an extremely uncommon disease that is spread by rodents. She died around 7 days before Hackman, around February 17. Hackman passed away from hypertensive and atherosclerotic heart illness. He had severe Alzheimer's disease. The couple's canines were a significant part of this tragic event. Bee and Nikita, 2 of their dogs, showed incredible dedication by being among the first to help authorities locate Hackman's corpse after it was discovered on the property. Xena, the 3rd dog, had died of natural causes and was discovered dead in her box. The film industry paid homage to Hackman in droves once the news of his death spread. 3 of Hackman's children from a prior marriage will carry on his legacy. An official statement was released by the family to acknowledge the deep loss and to celebrate Hackman's legacy, expressing their condolences. An era in Hollywood has come to a close with Gene Hackman's demise. His performances will be remembered by audiences for years to come, and his contributions to film will be felt forever. The world remembers the actor and the man who gave depth and sincerity to every part he played. As tributes keep pouring in, famous actor Robert Duvall recently discussed the death of another Hollywood star, Gene Hackman. Duvall is recognized for his strong roles in films such as The Godfather and Apocalypse Now. Both performers were giants in their fields, and they had a lengthy history of mutual respect and a parallel career that lasted decades. In his remark about Hackman's departure, Duvall conveyed profound respect and sadness, highlighting the tremendous loss that the cinema industry endured due to his demise. As members of a legendary acting cohort, Duvall and Hackman left an indelible mark on the film industry. They both became famous as powerful, life-altering artists around the same time, and their careers took off from there. Their mutual admiration shone through in interviews conducted throughout the years despite the fact that they seldom collaborated. Upon hearing of Hackman's death, Duvall wasted no time expressing his sorrow. The weight of their long-standing relationship and mutual respect for his work was evident in his remarks. Duvall lauded Hackman's ability to embody every part he played in his statement, describing him as one of the best performers of all time. The authenticity and vulnerability of Hackman's performances, he recalled, were what made him one of the most captivating performers of all time. Duvall praised Hackman's commitment to acting, saying that all performers should respect his ability to disappear into characters rather than depend on dramatic flourishes. He saw the humanity in Hackman's characters, as he pointed out. Besides discussing Hackman's acting, Duvall also discussed Hackman's character. He said that Hackman was well respected by both his colleagues and his admirers because of his modesty and strong work ethic. The importance of the art itself, rather than celebrity per se, was Hackman's primary motivation, according to Duvall. He brought up the fact that Hackman's resolution to leave acting in the early 2000s was evidence of this. Instead of seeking fame and fortune, He opted to retire happy with his legacy. This was an uncommon form of insight in Hollywood, according to Duvall, who applauded the decision. Additionally, Duvall reminisced about their similar experiences as struggling performers in the early stages of their careers. Along with other young actors like Dustin Hoffman, he said they had been a tight-knit group that had faith in their abilities and encouraged one another to grow as performers despite the unpredictability of the situation. Duvall cherished the companionship he felt throughout those days. When asked about Hackman's acting career, Duvall cited many of his most iconic roles, such as in Unforgiven, Mississippi Burning, and The French Connection.